Hello, everyone. Can I please have your attention? Oh, I'm so happy that everyone can come out tonight to be with our new mayor, Gusio Reed. We appreciate you coming out. Can we please give him a hand? Now, we were supposed to have Marge Caldwell-Wilson. I'm not sure if she'll make it, but instead, he's been so nice to sit down and possibly ask questions. He does work with some of the public works in the area, and his name is Jason Woodhead. Can we please give him a hand? I thank you so much. Before we start, so we'll have no interruptions, can we please either turn off our cell phones or just put them on vibrate? I appreciate that, thank you. All right, so to start this, we have to go from where we left off. We had a meeting with the mayor last time, and we had a lot of questions. And Mayor will try to answer some of those concerns we had from the last meeting. We're gonna open it up with those questions. Now there's gonna be a clipboard that's going around, and if you'd like to sign your name on that clipboard because you wanna come to this mic and ask a direct question, you have the opportunity to do so. This is the clipboard. Kim is holding it in her hand. And you just put your name, go ahead, raise your hand. She'll come to you and you sign your name and we'll call you up and you can ask questions. I'm so happy everyone can make it out. This is my neighborhood as well, and I want all that's best for it. So, with no further ado, Kim, will we start with, opening up with the questions from the last meeting? So do we take this straight to Reed, or is someone going to? Thank you, Mayor. It's yours.
Well, thank you very much, Sherelle, for organizing this along with these Trenton Collaborative. I think it is important for the mayor still to have dialogue with the community. I look forward to returning here periodically to make sure that that I know what is going on in the neighborhood. Ed Koch, the mayor of New York, used to periodically ask, how am I doing? And that's why these forums are so important. I've only been on the job for 100 days, and yet the challenges are many. And public safety is one of those. We want to make sure that the neighborhoods, all neighborhoods, no matter where you live, you feel safe and secure in your home, and that the police are responsive. Yeah. Jason is actually the community affairs liaison from the police department. He's also an officer, and so if anyone has any specific public safety questions, Jason would be more than happy to take them. We were just this morning, one of the things that I feel is so important are the community cleanups. Because sometimes it's the little things that make a neighborhood and try to restore pride in the city and in the neighborhoods. We were on Oak and Taylor, cleaning up the alleyways over there. If you notice, if you go all the way down at Oak and you see that former manufacturing site with all the bricks in the yard, that in the future is going to be a park. And we intend to do a skateboard park in there, but we also going to have a lot of open space, and we're going to put a lot of greenery all along that area where Taylor Street is. And it's going to be a much more beautiful neighborhood. It's going to take some resources, but we're starting to raise the money to make those parklands an open space area for our citizens. We're also important to clean up the neighborhoods because we want to attract developers to come in and take a chance on Trenton. If a business comes in and moves into the city of Trenton, that means more jobs. And also it means construction jobs because they have to build a place for the buildings. And we're working on that. I'm currently talking to 3 major corporations that would like to set up shop in the city of Trenton. One of them will be is looking at Enterprise Avenue. And so stay tuned for that. The other thing is Trenton Waterworks has been very controversial. And that is because in the last 8 years, the Christie administration would, in exchange for getting transitional aid, we get $9 million from them. They get to approve everything from a janitor to a director and have to approve all contracts. Well, the Christie administration would never allow us to hire anybody at the Trenton Waterworks if a vacancy occurred. We now have 70 vacancies in the Trenton Waterworks, and they would never approve any contracts for upgrading the facility to make sure that we're offering clean water to our customers. So far, we've hired 29 people to fill those 70 vacancies. There's still jobs to be had. Unfortunately, they have to have the special certified licensing. And so we're also working with Mercer County College to offer the coursework so that our residents can be trained for those jobs. The highest paid jobs in the city are police, fire, and waterworks. And we want to make sure our residents all qualify for all of them. We're recruiting actively for police in our neighborhoods. We're also actively recruiting for firefighters in our neighborhoods. We think in the next 5 to 10 years, this city is going to transform. We're looking to get more people employed, more businesses established, cleaning the neighborhoods up, and be able to offer top quality water to the area communities. So with that, I'll just shut up right now. I would enjoy your questions and try to answer them as best I can. Jason will be able to do the public safety portion, but I want to keep the dialogue going. I want to make sure that you feel that you have a voice in City Hall, that you can come to City Hall, and that that we will be responsive. We do have. Does anyone hear of the government alerts? It's actually an app on your phone that you can set up. Maybe show you what it looks like. Of course, I can't get my phone. It's called Gov Alert. You may want to do it, but it's an app on your phone where it tells you where you are, and then if you want to report a quality of life concern, you can report something on animals, buildings, business, construction, garbage and trash, health, lights, signal signs, parking, property maintenance, sanitation, streets, water, and sewer utility zoning. These are all the topics that you could report directly to City Hall right on your phone. And this is something that we've done. It's called Gov Alert. You can look at that up in your apps. We encourage you to sign up for it, because if you do have a quality of life complaint, you can directly correspond with City Hall. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. You know what? Thank you very much. Yes. I've seen the Gov Alert. I think I downloaded it. Has anyone else seen the, what is it called again, Mayor?
Gov Alert.
Gov Alert.
G-O-V-A-L-E-R-T.
Okay. Has anybody tried using it yet? Rachel Cogswell, did you try using it? May I?
So Governor is user friendly. Do not be afraid of it. GovAlert is very user friendly. If you can't find it on GovAlert, you may go to govpilot.com. GovAlert is a gateway between the residents and the municipal. Okay. What GovAlert will do is it will, as soon as you report the problem, it will find a signal to where you are. You are then able to take a picture of the area of the concern. You may take a picture, or if you already have a picture in your gallery, you may just click on that picture and you will go to that area of the concern. You may then go ahead and just click on wherever the concern may be. You go to that area, you click on it, and then you will put in your name, your phone number, and your email address if you have one. As soon as you do that, what will happen is the next stage it will send it over to that appropriate department. They will send you back a little tracking number. From the tracking number, if you put in your email address, what will happen is within a couple hours, you will then get an email from the city or wherever it's addressed to, and it will let you know that, thank you, we received your complaint, and we will follow up with you. That's basically
One recent example is somebody hit a street sign, knocked it down. The person took a picture of the street sign down, reported it through GovAlert, gave the address, and then we were able to expedite getting the street sign back up. So those are the kind of, illegal dumping, any kind of quality of life concern, because we do know that police have really serious jobs, but they can't handle just quality of life complaints, and that's what GovAlert is designed to address.
I just have one question. So if I see dumping somewhere, just get my cell phone, take a picture, go to GovAlert and upload it onto there, and I get a response saying we've got your
Complaint. And
complaint, and something definitely will be done about it.
Yeah, we hope to respond to every complaint, and the good thing about it is because people say, oh, I called City Hall, nobody ever returned my phone call. Well, with GovAlert, you actually have a tracking number, so you could follow up and say, I have number 567, what are you doing with it? So you'll be able to call the status of where it's at. The other thing about illegal dumping, if you can get license plates, we're going to be offering an reward for reporting illegal dumping. So we would also encourage you, if you see somebody dumping, please take a picture of the vehicle and, to the extent you can, a license plate, and then we'll be following up with that as well.
If I could, just for the GovAlert for the police side, we have 2 detectives that monitor the GovAlert for your complaints that come in. They're under me, Community Affairs. Community Affairs primarily, in terms of what they do in their day-to-day complaints, is anything non-criminal, so this falls under that, and they go out and they take action on those things. However, just because you use GovAlert doesn't mean you can't pick up the phone and dial the non-emergency number for the police department and report it there as well. They have to send a car out. A lot of times people think we don't send the car because it does take a long time during certain times of the day. There's the jobs get bottlenecked, prime time with accidents and stuff. Police have to respond to every call. I understand some people have issues with police getting out of the car. That's a different thing. But I'm talking about actually driving to the location to make an observation and take action. Sometimes there's no action to take, but they have to at least respond to the call. Sometimes you'll get a thing such as that they can't handle as a call for service. So they'll forward it to us to handle. If something has to be followed up on that may take several days, or has to deal with us being liaison to another department, like Santora that does the signs, or one of the other departments, and we do that. So, but the point is, nothing stops you from pick up the phone, dial 989-4000 4000.
You know what? There's a card. I know I got one from Elena here at ETC. And if anyone needs one, let us know after this. We'll get you one. And it has all the offices, the numbers that you need to call. So you don't have to call 911. There's a number for, like Jason said, non-emergencies. You give them a call and they do come up. But it's a magnet, so you can just put it right on your refrigerator and we'll give you one. Yes.
No, I wanted them to know. Have a squeaky voice. Like, please know, the GovAlert. Just as the mayor mentioned it, Elena helped me with installing on my phone, and went through just like that. And it lists all the places. I just gotta say, if I need help with anything. Well, thank you.
I also want to introduce Garland Barber, who's from Public Works. So if anyone has any questions specifically about Public Works, he can answer that.
Garland Barber.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Okay, I think we're ready for some direct questions from some of our community. Are we ready with questions? Now we have questions for the mayor. We have Garland and we have Jason. And
Really quick, everyone that had a question, did you sign the clipboard? All right, so number one on my list, I have Cheryl.
We have one lady who wants to sign it.
Okay, on my street, on Flag Avenue, this one particular house, brother and sister, that be busting each other's cars up. And the cars be sitting there for a long time. And the police ride by, don't say anything. I believe these cars should be removed.
Thank you, Cheryl. This is an example of how GovAlert can help us. If you take a picture of those cars, you can send them in. But I'll have Jason address that. But we'll go after those cars if they're non-registered or illegally parked.
As far as when people calling all the time about abandoned cars or what they think is abandoned cars, I'm not saying that this car isn't abandoned, but you know, car with a broken window that's still operable, registered, it's been there for 7 days, not moved. I mean, there's nothing the police can do about that. You know, police can go out and when you call. The problem is a lot of times you'll get, if you call, let's say 3 times in 3 days, you have 3 different officers go out. When you get 3 different officers go out, they see that observation for the first time. They have to wait a certain period of time. I believe it's 3 weeks or 2 weeks, 14 days, I think, or 21 days, to be able to take action on that car if it's legally registered and appears to be operable. So a lot of times what happens is, you know, then you get frustrated, you don't call back, by then they end up moving it or something like that. But you think you call, when you did call 3 times, you expected something to happen, but that's the logistical problem. But I think the GovAlert does clear up a lot of that, where, you know, it's time-stamped, here's where it is, you don't have to do that 3 times. When you do it once, you mark the date where the observation by you is made, and we can take action at that time. That should speed up the process, but sometimes community affairs, those types of issues are what we do because of the logistics of it, and also the detectives are better at going out there, getting a hold of people, even if they're at work or going back the next day to follow up. The patrol officers, they don't have that capacity, so hopefully GovAlert will take care of that, and if not, then you can always reach out to the community affairs. Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you, Jason. The next one, the person crossed out their name, so I won't name them if they don't want to be named, but the question is, are there funds available to seniors for home repairs? I've been on the list for over 2 years.
That one I'll specifically have to get back to you. There was funding at City Hall. I don't know if those funds have dried up. One of the things that unfortunately I have to clear up is community block grants are generated out of the United States Housing and Urban Development Department. Ben Carson is the Secretary of HUD. Our HUD grant money have been suspended since 2015 because unfortunately we didn't have proper record keeping and didn't appropriately apply for the grant funding. There's $6 million coming from HUD that has been frozen. We're trying to clear up with HUD, but the community block grants are for that. They're for senior housing, for recreation, and for parks and recreation. So we're trying to clear that up so that we do have more funding for these projects. Bear with us. I've just been working since I got in there, but our grant funding, unfortunately, has been frozen since 2015.
Good afternoon. My name is Sherry Glass, and I'm realtor and a local realtor, and I asked that question to Andres Gomez of my set department, and what he advised me was that there are funds available, so the answer is yes. However, they're restricted to the number of applicants they can address in a year's time, and there's a wait list of over 600 people.
Wow.
So, if there's 20 people allowed to go to get addressed that every year, then you're looking at years before everyone gets the turn. So it needs to be addressed at the federal level in terms of the capacity in which the individuals can be served.
Thank you for that information. We now have our city councilwoman, Marge. Welcome. And we do give you space at this time if you want to address the audience.
Yeah, so I'm really glad to be back. I'm sorry I locked myself out of my house. And I had to get someone to drive me to Ellerslie Museum because the docent has a key to my house. And he came back, and thank goodness I didn't have to get a locksmith. But I apologize for being late, and I'm happy to hear and come and address some of the issues. I'm always happy to be at East Rhine Collaborative. So, thank you.
Thank you, Marge. So moving right along with the questions on the list, I have Clarissa Marine.
Hello, thanks for coming. Clarissa Marine, live at 88 Poplar Street. I've been there since the age of 9, and I have seen the community go down. I live at 88 Poplar Street from 90 all the way down. They have built 2 new homes. It's a waste. I had to call the water department to turn the water off down there because the porch was coming up from the corner of Hurley all the way down. We only have 3 homeowners, and it's awful down there. It used to be a junkyard. Next door to me is 90 Poplar Street. The people that live there just left. It's been a mess for 3 years. From 90 on down, it's nothing but bushes, grass, deers. It's awful. And I pay taxes, and I have to live around this. And I do the best I can to keep my house looking good, but it's a waste. And I also have pictures. Now, do I have to send these pictures to Governor Alert?
I would recommend you send those pictures with the address, but we are, every Saturday, we are out cleaning up a different street, and hopefully people have noticed that we're doing some good. I'll put it on the list.
And I also have pictures on my camera that I took. And also, October 10th, I killed 2 little snakes in front of my house.
How big were they?
About this long.
Wow.
And I don't want snakes inside of my house.
I don't like snakes either.
And something needs to be done. I've
Yeah.
been complaining for the last 2 to 3 years because the house next door is vacant all the way down.
Garland?
We will be out there this week to check out Poplar Street. We was working this morning in Antico Square, which is located a couple blocks away from you, Tyler and Oak Street area. We cleaned up that alley back there.
Tyrell.
But we will, yes, Tyrell. We will be out there certainly this week to check out.
I mean, it's awful. I shouldn't have to live like that.
Nope.
I mean, I have to do a little work in my house, but my house don't look nothing like what's going on down there. So,
Once you bring it to our attention, I have no doubt you've tried before. We're gonna try to be as responsive as we can.
thank you.
If I could just respond to you, we've tried to work out a system with the mayor's office as far as council people are concerned. And we have a contact in the mayor's office. So when someone like yourself will send us an email, give us information, I immediately send it directly to the mayor's office because we don't go directly to the directors. And the mayor's office will then contact that department and eventually will follow up with us and let us know what's going on. But there's so much that has to be done in the whole city that I don't know how far down on the list a lot of my complaints are. But I just have to try and be patient and follow up on it.
I thank you for that, but it's been almost like 3 years. The guy next door has been gone just that long,
Yeah.
all in the back, the trees. I have to get people to cut the tree because it's coming into my house.
So we're trying to start a whole new system where we can really just start catching up on all of that stuff that's been ignored for decades.
And
All right.
Garland said he's gonna be out there this week.
Okay, thank
He's a
you.
man of his word, so.
All right,
He's been
Garland.
doing a great job.
I'll be looking for you. Thank
And
you.
I've worked with him on the cleanups, so.
Thank you.
Thank you all. The next person on the list is Gwen Greer.
Good afternoon. I was wondering, who do you contact if you see squatters in your neighborhood?
Jason will answer that, but I would also do that on Gov Alerts as well, because you report the house, you can even take a picture that it's supposed to be boarded up, or if it's a problem with that. But report it on Gov Alert, but I think Jason has a procedure on how they deal with squatters.
Well, our detective, I have two detectives, like I said before. One, Tamikaville is the northwest, and even though it's East Stratton, it's considered northeast purposes. If you want to contact me through my email, I'll give you my email. I'll say it out loud. Anybody wants to write it down, it's pen and paper. It's the letter J, Woodhead, which WOODHEAD, at TrentonPolice.net. Again, that's the letter J, Woodhead, WOODHEAD, at TrentonPolice.net. If you email me, or just if you call the main number and leave a message, you can let them know. The email is the best way to get in touch with me. I'll have her go out. If you want, give me your information. We'll come speak to you. A lot of times with squatters, it's a delicate situation. We have to actually determine that what you're talking about, I believe is more of a trespassing situation. Then when we say squatters, it's kind of a difficult, legal area you get into about occupancy. Sometimes it's not that easy to get people out. We work hand in hand with Acting Director Vasquez from inspections. We've been able to board up quite a few houses, and also with Andrew Bobbitt from the city. He can be the liaison through the mayor's office. But it's not as easy as you think, but if we get in there as quick as possible, deal with them when they first get in there, when they're trespassing, we can usually get them out in almost immediately or a week. Depending on the situation too. If they're actual victims of a fraud, situation where the landlord takes advantage of them and they actually paid some money and they think that they're, have a right to live there, that's a different story. Obviously, we've seen in the paper where there's issues of fraud going both ways, where even the people living in there are committing the fraud. Usually that's pretty easy to tell through, most people wouldn't pay a $2,000 security deposit when you obviously have stains all over the carpet and bugs crawling up the wall. No reasonable person would do that. So those are some of the things inspectors do with our detectives to determine whether they're actually trespassing or whether or not they're legally there. All right, but we'll contact us and we'll get on. All right. Where are you talking about specifically?
Terrell Avenue.
Okay. I'll talk to you.
Do you have an address on it?
Will we talk to you after the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. The next person we have is Oscar Lopez.
Yes, my name is Oscar Lopez, and I hope with this new mayor, it's going to be a lot of changes because I met him, but before he was a mayor and we shake hands and he was walking in the streets looking for people and I know he knows how the street look like. And one of my questions is I'm not asking only for my street. I hope you fix the blacktop, parkings, and all the stuff in every single street in Trenton because most of the mayors, Palmer, Marshall, Tony Jack. Every time I go to the meeting, they say the beautiful city of Trenton, and they lie. I hope you make that word, and now it's gonna be the beautiful city of Trenton. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments. One of the things that unfortunately was in the paper, to fix roads and potholes, we apply for transportation trust funds. All of us in this room pay 23 cents more per gallon to create in that fund, the transportation trust fund. And in turn, that money was to come back to the municipalities. For example, the city of Camden last year got $24 million in transportation trust fund monies. The city of Trenton got zero because we forgot to apply. This year, we put in for $13 million worth of projects, and we hope to be doing more street repairs, more pothole filling, and so we get it. And that's very important, is the streets. All of us drive down a lot of the streets where we dodge potholes. Right before my election, my car went into one, and I had to get a flat tire. I missed a forum. But so I get it, and I think it's very important that our infrastructure be up to par. And so we're applying for transportation trust funding for next year. And in the meantime, if you have big potholes that need to be filled, again, send them through Gov Alerts. The cross section on the streets would help. An address nearby the pothole would help. But we're trying to take care of as many potholes as possible. I think Garland could even attest that Public Works going out a lot more than we've ever done before.
Actually, we're out on a daily basis filling potholes. So, for some of y'all not familiar with Gov Alert, you could just call us at 989-3200. That's the street department. This time of year, we are using cold patch. In the colder months, we have just completed our road resurfacing program, because to do streets, it requires a hot patch, which is done seasonal. So in the wintertime, you cannot use that type of material. So during these colder months, we use cold patch, and we go out and fill potholes and so forth. So for those of y'all who are not familiar with Gov Pilot, you could just call us 989-3200. Give us the location, and we'll come out and fill those holes. Yes.
Just call that number, and because there's like this alleyway with big, massive potholes that needs to be filled. And you will come out, Garland, or your guys will come out?
Yes.
And get it done?
Absolutely. Last weekend.
Just like that? Yeah.
Just like that. Last weekend, we did 4 alleyways here in the city of Trenton. Sometimes the holes are too big, so what we do is we use a recycled material that's called asphalt millings. Like I said, last Saturday, we did 4 alleys. And sometimes we'll do that until we can mill them and repave them, because there are a lot of alleys in the city of Trenton, and sometimes the alleyways are overgrown. We cannot get our equipment down in those little tight alleys, so we have to use another application until we can find a solution to get them completely done.
So don't go to the Gov.
You could go to .gov, or you could call 609-989-3200. That is the street department number.
If I could just add, as a police sergeant, I drive all over the city, and a lot of these guys are working hard. The crews are always out there, and I know it seems like, that you look at the one alley behind your house and you don't see it done, and you wonder what's it gonna take, but you gotta realize there's a lot of these streets and alleys that have to be done, and they've done a lot in fast, I'd say, a year, 6 months to a year. So just sticking with it, be patient, they'll get to you.
I'm sorry, one more comment. Did
He's
you guys
excited
walk
about that
across
number.
the street? Because sometimes they're doing work on Olden Avenue, and we have to exit through. I gotta go so slow. I'm not trying to mess up my tires. That's a lot of money. They're big. You guys are walking across the street? It's that alley right there. So maybe you might want to look at it.
All right, we'll look at it. Thanks, Cheryl.
You take that recycle, stuff like you said, and pay it back. Going into that dollar.
Can you address everyone? Stand up and. Go ahead, stand up.
Dennis lives in the neighborhood, he does work for people who
Talking
never
about the
leave.
alleyway towards the back going through this way and the center follows. Either way, you can recycle it and bring it back and put it back or you can do it. But it's a lot, cause it's not, like you said, it hasn't been done. But it's where we commend it. And it's like that. It's what-
Thanks,
we'll
Dennis.
check it out.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right. I think with us talking about alleyways, it brought me back to what you, an issue that we had before, and we asked in the email if you could address it. So expanding on the topic of alleyways, rodent infestations related to dumping, if anyone could address that, because it's posing a risk to the East Trenton residents' health.
Yeah.
So that was in the email. If you guys, anyone, Marge,
Yeah,
Public Works, anyone.
Well, can I, there's two types of dumping. Done on private property where somebody just drives on and it's an abandoned house, that's private property, that's a separate number. If it's an alleyway, then it goes to sanitation. So take down these two numbers. Inspections deals with private property dumping, inspections. And their number is 989-3563. 989-3563. If you see illegal dumping in the alleys, that goes to sanitation department, the sanitation inspector, 989-3176. 989-3176. And again, we'd encourage you to use GovAlert because again, you get a receipt and a tracking number so you can follow along when the job gets done. Also to take pictures, and you can send the pictures of the illegal dumping right to City Hall. And again, if you can get a license plate number, that's golden, because then we will actually go after the person who did the illegal dumping.
And you give awards.
And we're gonna get a reward, yes.
Also, to add to that, if it's actually somebody that pulls the truck up, they start unloading tires, call police. Tell them that they're actively doing it. We'll try and get somebody out there as fast as they can and try and catch them in the act. It's not 100%, but that's the first place I would call, and then you could always follow up with the other numbers after once it's done. But call the police first if it's in progress.
Yeah, they're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. The bold part of the email was talking about the rodent infestation related to the dumping. So I didn't know if that was something that Marge maybe could talk about, Mr. Barber from Public Works could talk about. They were proposing special trash cans possibly for the residents.
Yes.
Is there any type of solution for that? I don't like creepy.
Yeah, what I had asked when we were discussing the contract with MCIA for the recycling cans was, and the last time the contract came up during the Jackson administration, I held up the contract because I wanted to find out why they weren't supplying lids. And they had said that they would work together and get a grant to supply lids. Well, they never did that. So this year, I also discussed that and raised it at council and at the meeting that if we're going to approve hundreds of thousands of dollars to the county to do our recycling, they should provide lids for the recycling cans for the residents, because I know I went on vacation one day and I came home and there was a dead rat in my recycling can. So that's something that I have to work with the administration on, they have to work with the county on to try and provide those lids free, just like they provide free recycling cans. You can call them up and pick them up at MCIA, and I'm not sure that they advertise that, but you can contact the county to get the free recycling cans. As far as the infestations are concerned, they're all over the city, and we have to send our health inspector out to determine what they're going to do about this. That's beyond my parameter as far as a council person is. I have to turn that over to the city to see what they're going to do to try and control all of this. With a lot of buildings going on and areas being dug up, they're obviously disturbing nests and whatever. But then we have the raccoons, which is the state wildlife, and we would have to contact the state wildlife regarding the wildlife, yeah.
But you can call the health department. Unfortunately, I don't have the number here, but we have a new director, Shakira Abdul Ali, and so I would encourage you to call if there's an infestation problem, either insects or vermin. Please call the health department. And then-
She's very responsive, by the way, yeah.
Thank you. All right, next on my list, I have a person who would not like to be named, but the question is, what number can I call to report illegal drug trafficking? I think it's more of a safety concern if they are reporting, if they will be exposed and retaliated against.
I would encourage Gov Alerts, again, because it's a quality of life concern, or call the non-emergency number at the police.
There's also, you can use the MyBlock, it's an anonymous complaint. I monitor that, I believe you go to myblock.com. I'm not sure how you do it on the other coming in part, but you probably know more than I did, Rachel. I just go on it and monitor it. It's just myblock.com and the Trenton location, right? Is that
Again, it's very user-friendly. You just put in your information. You can be anonymous, okay? So if you don't want to have your information disclosed, so just put in the address, what the concern is, and just hit send, and there you go.
Also, if you do choose to put your name in there so I can follow up, I'm the one, it's an option, you don't have to. If you're specific enough with the complaint, that should be enough to get somebody out there. I monitor it. If you are willing to give your name or email address, or just your email address, or just your phone number, have me contact to follow up. If you want to be more specific, you're welcome to do that too. You can also call 989-3906. There's usually one of our street crime units that answer that phone. That's in their office. That's a phone number that's not through our dispatch, but it's also not one where they like check the messages on. If you happen to catch them, there's usually somebody there. There's a night crew and a day crew. But if they don't answer once, go through the MyBlock. You can also leave a message on my email. But if there's something out there where there's like drug dealers right there, you can also call the regular number. Anywhere you get through in the department, you can ask to be put through to either community affairs or just general patrol that you want to call to respond. It really depends on the nature of the complaint. If it's something ongoing that's not really happening right now, I'd say the MyBlock is the way to go, or my email. But if it's something where part of the way I talk here, I'm talking plain, where it's closer to the beginning of the month and people are all of a sudden coming up to a specific house, and the person that you believe is a suspected drug dealer is dealing with people that are coming up that don't look like they're from the area, I'd say that's something you should call police on. Have us go out there right away. The 99-4000 number, okay? And then you can follow up later on it with the other ones, okay? You're welcome.
Okay. So next we have Valerie Thompson.
Hello. First, a quick comment. I tried to go on the city website for Parks and Recreation, and that page is password protected. I don't know if that's something from the past or something.
We'll check in that.
All right. And for the jobs, if there are people who don't necessarily fit into like companies that are coming in, like want to be entrepreneurs, use our skills and crafts, if there's a proposal for that, for how different people in the city can work together, how do we take that to City Hall?
We're working on getting full staffing for our economic development office. I would encourage you to give a call to them. We're trying to assist young entrepreneurs like yourself to get established. We need to get this city working. There's too many people who are unemployed, and if we're gonna lift the city, it's gonna be by ourselves, and that means the residents who wanna take a chance and and I think you have a lot of courage, because, you know, it's easy for me. I went to government and got a job with the government, but you want to forge your own way, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of planning. We'd like to assist you, because that's one way we're gonna get the city moving. So I don't have a specific answer to your I would have to know more about what your proposal is. But there's also foundations like the Smith Foundation that is also trying to assist young entrepreneurs to get started as well.
Okay, yeah, not necessarily asking the city for money, but just trying
Assistance. Yeah, we also don't want to make it burdensome for you. A lot of people complain about the permit process, and then inspectors have to come out, and we get it, that it's frustrating, and that's why our Economic Development Office wants to streamline that to help you. And in essence, get government out of the way so that you can get your business established without too much burdens.
Sometimes we need government, like for example, downtown, where the people who live here can't do any street vending, and the business owners don't necessarily live in Trenton, but they're the ones calling the shots. And then one more thing, I think tomorrow you're scheduled for Mercer County College.
Yes.
So the free tuition is for 2-year degrees, but a lot of people need certificates, so we can kind of, I mean, I know you can't work.
Well, let's talk about that tomorrow, but
Okay.
one of the exciting things that Governor Murphy's initiative is offering free tuition. Mercer County College is one of those pilot county colleges that you have to take 6 credits a semester and make under $45,000 a year, and you will have free tuition for a 2-year degree. So I think that's a good thing that we want to promote.
That's awesome. Moving right along, we will have Vanessa Murphy.
Hello again. I'd like to know, well, thank you so much, Mayor, the workers that's cleaning out Tyrell Avenue right now, the alleyway is right behind my house. And what I understood, they got a lot of mattresses out of there. Even got a bathtub. But now, they clean the alley out on Tyrell Avenue. What are you going to do to maintain it, to keep it clean? Because they did this last year. They got like, I think the big dumpsters, they have like 4 or 5 dumpsters full of stuff. So what are you gonna do? The camera's gonna be installed. What are you gonna do? Because they're gonna come right back. You're gonna have mice and rats, possum. Now we have, believe it, white skunks.
I've seen it.
And also, 3 families, raccoons, was trying to attack my dog. I'm using water hose. They would not back down. So what can we do to keep it clean?
For the raccoons, please call the health department. We've had a pretty good success rate so far of we're cleaning the alleyways. We're stepping up patrols, checking it periodically to make sure that they're maintained. We also got grant funding to install cameras. They're coming. And it's our aim to catch these illegal dumpers, set a few examples, give rewards to encourage the neighborhoods to continue to keep involved and be vigilant to make sure that we keep our city clean.
I see them dumping sometimes, but my fence is like kind of high and I can't see up. So normally what I do, I would tell them, ask them, what are you doing there? You know, because my fence is high and I can't get the license plate. I can't see the license plate. And a lot of times when they do, I can hear, I'll be in my back bedroom and I can hear the truck back there at night, and I know at night they got no business back there.
Please call the police at that moment that you hear him out there, and we're gonna try to catch him in the act. But I think that everybody in City Hall, including police and fire, are all pitching in together to tackle this illegal dumping problem.
But we definitely need cameras to maintain it.
Yes, ma'am.
Without the cameras, they come right back.
May I just add, regarding to the illegal dumping, myself and Aziz and Octave, we've been doing this since 2014. And with Reed and the new administration, we applaud Reed administration because we really now are starting to combat this illegal dumping. However, the ownership is really on us, the residents. We have to be vigilant. We have to have our ears open, our eyes open, right? In addition to, it would cost only a few pennies, perhaps $15 to $20, if you were to purchase a motion detector, a light, to put it on the back of your garage or somewhere where you can hook it up. So whoever drives back there, the light will come on, and that will be a deterrent for them. So that's what we're going to start speaking about when we go out here and do these cleanups like we were out here this morning, to start asking the residents, can you go ahead and help us to pitch in and purchase a spotlight with a motion detector on there, so whoever is coming in the alleyway in your backyard, the light will come on, and hopefully that will get them out the area.
I just wanted to add to Public Works. Jason, I don't know if it should go to you or
Garland.
Early.
Garland.
I'm sorry, forgive me, Garland. The young lady that was just up here, I don't know where she went. There was, the festation. I'm a city girl. I don't see skunks, and I see them now, and it's terrible. You see this, and then there's a smell in the air. Mice. I mean, they're not running out of your house, they're running into the house. It's a really big problem, Garland. I mean, I have a pest control, they come out once a month, I gotta pay. It's money, but it still doesn't neglect the fact that they're out there. I'm thinking, what can you guys do to, I mean, besides the dumping, I mean, is there anything you can put back there to stop them from coming in the area?
The only other thing you can do to control rodents is you can call over to animal control, and you can go over there and they will give you a trap. A lot of residents call, they have traps. Some people. Oh, okay. I just was told they don't have any left.
No, the problem with animal control is they have given out the traps to trap these animals, and
they
no
don't
one
give them
returns them.
Oh, I was good.
So, I
That's
don't
why I
know.
came up, because last time I did that, they wanted me to bring, what was it, $40 down there. I forgot what it was. It was
It's
so
almost
long
like
ago.
you're renting a trap, if you will.
No, but this.
But when you
no,
return it, you get your money back.
I was told, once I got the trap, I own it now. That was the last time I went down there. Yeah, because we had the raccoon problem. That's when I went down there. I believe it was $40, $20 or $40.
So trap it, call you, let them know he's there, and you guys come get it?
Yeah, we would get it.
Can I just say something?
I mean, it's not inhumane, it's not cutting off body parts,
No.
it's just a trap.
No, it's just a cage.
It's a cage.
And the rodent goes inside of it and the door shuts and they come and get it.
Real quick, I grew up in the city. I grew up on the other side, Genesee Street, South Trenton. I recently moved out. I live right over off of Whitehead. Like you can throw a rock from here to reach it. Aspen Creek's right behind my house. You guys over on that side have the Aspen Creek. Over on this side, you have the canal. There's always going to be some degree of pests that will, if given the opportunity, because they go near water. There's also, the big park over there along the creek. Yeah, and there's always going to be raccoons. There's always going to be possums, mice. When I first left the city and went just in this little area, which is still, it has a backyard in the creeks there. The mice, the raccoons, a snake went in my garage. I was freaked out too. I get it, but I mean, when you buy water, And when you buy grass, I mean, it's just gonna happen. All you do is try and maintain your property as best you can and deal with it. You're never gonna be able to put up a wall, a barrier to keep things out. It just doesn't work that way.
And
as
also
far
when
as
you
I
go
know,
from
you know.
warm to cold,
Right.
you'll see it.
Especially, and also you have, when they knock down like the factory, I'm sure there was a ton of animals that had to go elsewhere. So now you see an influx of animals, and I think eventually that will tamper down when, you know, their environment isn't ideal for them, you know. But there's always gonna be some level of creatures trying to get into your house or into your yard, and, you know, you just gotta be vigilant with it, you know.
Deers. We have deers
Deer,
on Poplar Street down at the end.
Deer on my son.
There's deer on Oakland Street, I see, you know, in the backyard.
I just find that, the residents, just talking about what Rachel was saying, is taking responsibility even for their own garbage. And I find sometimes people put their garbage out early than they're supposed to. They're not in containers with lids. And so therefore, you're going to draw the, you know, critters too, because they're hungry. And so I find that there'd be a big issue with people managing, each individual and each household managing their garbage in such a way that it helps to, you know, help to eliminate or at least have control over the critter. Even in the backyard, they just put the garbage out in a plastic bag. You're right in trouble.
You're right. That's where those garbage pails are gonna come in handy, right, Raj? Oh, we do.
We have the lids there.
So we don't have the lids.
Well, that's for the recycling cans I'm talking about. You know, when you have your garbage can, you purchase a garbage can, it should have a lid.
Exactly.
I have a,
Yeah.
can I interject something? One of the things that, I speak to a lot of residents here, I'm not necessarily from East Trenton, but, people that have sedans can't bring a trash can home from the store. So, especially when you're talking about tenant occupied properties, not necessarily owner occupied, so when they come into a property, they're not bringing a trash can with them, and they're putting trash out, and that kinda exasperates an already existing problem. So can there be an initiative?
I
to fix some of
thought
that?
there was a requirement by landlords were to provide trash cans.
No.
But, please let us know if that's the case.
So if there's an initiative where they can lease them out and roll them home, like something centralized here, that would kind of help.
Gotcha. But, landlords are supposed to provide, receptacles.
Just want to add one more thing. For small problems like mice and roaches, do we still have environmental services at City Hall that comes out?
Yeah, please contact us on Gov Alerts, and, you know, we'll do what we can.
I mean, like the, where they come to single-family homes and do the exterminating.
Excuse me, yes, on the second floor inspections, there's a gentleman that come out, will put stuff down for mice. Sometimes they'll put something down for the raccoons. It's something like it's not like cats or something like that, yeah, so it scares the raccoons away. But we do have a department.
Or they'll just send Andrew out and they'll scare him away.
Say about the trash can, sometimes we feel like, we should use a metal trash can because the trash sanitation department, there's so much trash to pick up, they rather have the bags and throw it. So when I have the cans something, they'll take the cans and throw them, and they get all bent up, and you don't wanna use them, because then you gotta go buy another one.
Yep.
So it'd be easy if they did put the cans back nicer, so we can use it, yeah.
Point well taken.
All right, well, we hit a hot topic. And we could definitely go on and on. For the sake of time, I'm looking at our, we have approximately 13 minutes, and I have 5 people on my list. And there is a pressing issue that one of our committee members had included in the email to all 3 invited guests regarding the traffic on Clag Avenue, the disruptive truck traffic on Clag. I believe Marge has something to say about that, and if it's a policing thing, we do have Jason in the house, so I want to hear about
So I
that.
have had discussions with the mayor and his staff about the problems on Clag Avenue and the damage to the homes. And since they are considering hopefully maybe doing development on, where that lot is across from the Trenton Metal Works, so before anybody gets any contract, we need to know, we need to get that community taken care of first. Because if you're going to bring in more traffic, then it's going to impact on the community. I had suggested that we make that Clegg Avenue one-way, so that, with no truck signs at the one-way, so that they can't even enter. Because right now, I believe the signs are up and they're still disobeying the signs. And I don't know how many of them have been ticketed, but it's a big problem, not only for the structure of the homes are starting to crumble and and crack, but also when people have to move and they have to go out early in the morning, they've got to move their cars because of the trucks, they can't get out. And I've raised this issue a number of times with the mayor and his administration, so now I'm gonna let him respond to see what we're going to do about it.
Thank you.
Well, we have put the signs up, and we've asked for more resources as far as enforcement, but it's a matter of having the resources to spend time there. So I'm surprised. This is the first I'm hearing about they're ignoring the signs, so we're gonna have to step up some kind of enforcement, and I'll talk to the police director about that.
Mr. Mayor, I hear that the signs have been removed.
They've been removed, somebody had the signs been removed.
Really?
They had them up, but they all been removed.
All right, we'll check with Anthony.
But the time it happened between 12, between 10 and 12, the trucks come in from that factory down the street. Instead of taking the way they supposed to take, I live at 321 Black, they come straight down Clegg Avenue.
Are they supposed to be taking Enterprise?
Yeah, Enterprise, they supposed to be taking Enterprise.
The other side of New York Avenue from
Yeah.
Mulberry, Mulberry Street?
Mulberry Street.
What time did you say?
Between 10 and 12 o'clock.
Morning or?
Morning.
Okay, 10 and 12 a.m.
And really, it's just laziness, it only takes you an extra
Yeah, 5 minutes to take that turn,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
All right. And what was your name, sir?
Oh, Wayne up.
Wayne. Okay, thank you, Wayne.
Is that not
No.
And this has been a problem for years. They're tearing up the infrastructure too.
Okay, thank you for addressing that matter. We are hoping that we'll find some resolution. The committee member couldn't be here today, but she has been fighting for quite a long time to get some help with that issue. The next person I have is Daniel Henderson.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daniel Henderson, like she said. Anyway, my question to you, first of all, is Lawrence and Clinton Avenue, when you come through the park, that area right there, we have made some complaints about, we need speed bumps over there. Tuesday of this week, a young man got hit already, but he's doing good, thank God. But we be out there having outings, cookouts for the kids, just having a nice time. And we see when them guys from to be honest with you, from 1 to 4, even 18-wheelers flying up and down that street. Now they come down there with them big 18-wheelers that created some potholes, and you guys are doing a good job. I can see y'all out there. But anyway, we need something to be done for somebody, hoping nobody's child will get killed out there.
Daniel, I'm sorry about that young man. I hope everything works out with them. It's a matter of we're gonna have to try to get some police enforcement out there. Keep in mind, we would love speed bumps, but because we have 2 hospitals in the capital city, we're prohibited from putting speed bumps, at least in the main arteries. So it's a matter of balancing public safety with the requirements of the law because of the hospitals.
Is there a park over where you're talking?
Talking about Heston's Park.
So there's a park, so there's kids over there all the time?
All the time.
And it's
All
impossible
the
to
time.
get a speed bump?
We used to have those, the boxes to tell you how fast you're going, so everybody slows down, even I'm going like 5 miles an hour over speed limit, you slow down.
Right.
I brought that up before, the ones that we have are out of service, but it's becoming an issue now, where several other places are talking about them. Maybe we can find a way to try to get them
With the street sign?
No, they're boxed, they're, you mean, if you drive through Hamilton Township, Lawrence Township, the speed,
They
you
tell
know,
you how
a
fast
trailer,
you're going.
they tell you how fast you're going, and what the speed limit is, it turns red if you're going too fast. I mean, it works in a similar way to, you know, the speed bumps where, you know, just makes you see the speed bump, you slow down, you see these things, you slow down. Those,
Well, when you go to Philadelphia, you know, at every traffic light, if you go through the traffic light and the traffic light is red, you will get a summons to get a ticket. So make those signs like that too.
Speed cameras are illegal in New Jersey. And, it was actually, I put a bill in when I was in the legislature to start them, and, they have, didn't get the votes.
and I know they had the light camera, red light camera at Lawrence there, the intersection, it was a nightmare for me at Daytown. You know, people that weren't really, running a red light and getting tickets, people were complaining, and for whatever reason, that's not there anymore. So I think in the long term, I don't think that's, you know, my opinion.
My next question, before I run out of time, is the library. What are we doing about it? Are we gonna be able, first of all, to get funding for the library, or are we gonna be able to either turn it into a community center? And not only that, we have people out here in our community who are willing to come out and help restore that library.
Okay. In our heyday, our library budget was $8 million. Today, it is $2 million. And that was the reason why the city, before I came, closed all 4 branch libraries. My understanding with the East Trenton Library on North Clinton, they estimated the repairs would be about $500,000. There's some roofing problems and some structural problems that they have to resolve. That goes back to our community grants, the block grants from the federal government. They deal with recreation, housing, and libraries would be included. So if we can get the HUD grants restored, it is our priority to get those back open or to turn them over to a nonprofit or an organization to run. Even if the city can't afford to run the library, we still need to repair it so we can give it to an organization. Unless ETC has $500,000 laying then we'll just give it to you. But we hear you.
ETC is happy to help the city pursue funding.
Yeah. So you can help us, Elena, with the grant acquiring, but it will cost about $500,000 to repair. That was the last estimate.
So Mayor, if I could respond to that, because when we had the last community meeting, it was my suggestion that we sit down not only with the county, but with ETC and their partners to see if we can come up with the funding with the private-public partnership, because I think that you would find that there would be certain groups out there that ETC works with that would be willing to go in there and do some of those repairs so that we can at least start. That is a historic building. It needs to be preserved. It has a great history for the East Trenton area. People remember that when there were kids, and I think that that has to be a priority, but I think that we as a city should sit down with the county and say, let's come up with a plan here instead of waiting for block grants. That's my suggestion.
Thank you. And also, if you see a vet tomorrow, give him a handshake.
I just want to speak to the library. Oh, that's really loud. I just want to speak to the library a little bit while we have that topic on deck. We did have, ETC had, through a New Jersey Historic Trust grant, had Clark Kate and Hintz do a preservation plan, and that's part of the figure that the mayor is citing. So there is at least a plan that has plans, like architectural plans for restoring the library. It is city-owned property, and so that sort of ties our hands as a coalition of nonprofits, but we are more than happy to work with the city to find a solution to restoring that building and restoring services in the East Trenton community.
Let's follow up. One thing is we don't want to get rid of the building, but we want to take care of it, maintain it, and then if we can't run it, we want to allow somebody like ETC to run it.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
had an elephant in the room. there has been funding received for that building to help with the historic preservation. We were told it was not enough money, so it was used for something else. So money has come in through the nonprofits for that building. So for people to pretend that, oh, they're gonna pursue it, no. So I just
It's a
wanted
priority of my administration. This may have been the past.
I don't mean the city, I'm talking about the nonprofits got grant money to help with it. Yeah, and it didn't happen, and that's happening a lot, where the money comes in, it's like, oh, we'll use it for something else.
Wally is here, our Director of Public Works. Wally, why don't you come over here? Wally used to be in the Army, and that's why I chose him as the director, because he's been really gung-ho about cleaning up the city, so he's been doing a great job with us. But just please know that opening up the libraries are one of our priorities, so we will work with you and we'll follow up.
All right, we're wrapping things up, guys. I know it's 1:30, we were supposed to end and start our refreshments at this time. We did get a late start. So I am going to allow Ms. Joni Sampson and Carmen Leon. That's the last two I have on my list. So please keep extra comments to after we wrap things up, and you guys can mingle and talk to the officials afterwards. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joni Sampson. And I have a question in terms of an email that I received regarding contaminated soil in the 200 block of Flag Avenue. Currently, there sits an automotive shop there, and I would like to know, are you aware of the contaminated soil? They were talking about testing homes, businesses within 1,000 feet of that facility, and if anybody has any updates in terms of what's going on with that. I have not received anything. I live in the 400 block, so I don't know how many feet that is, but I have not received any notification about testing my soil.
I would have to see that letter. I don't know if DEP sent that to you, whether it's a...
That was someone from City Hall.
Okay.
So just to clarify, so that letter came from EPA, and it's in reference to the Ellen Mitchell site, which was a ghost smelter, or what they suspect as a ghost smelter. And so the EPA was brought to their attention through an article. A journalist did a lot of research on ghost smelters, and EPA is doing testing within 500 feet of that site. So if you didn't receive 500 feet, or 1,000, maybe it's 1,000 feet.
Yeah, I've checked my letter.
So if you didn't receive a letter, it's because you might sit outside of that boundary. So if you do receive the letter, I highly recommend that you do testing, so that way they can confirm whether or not there's lead, and they will remediate the soil and any other remediation if necessary.
Well, can you tell me though, how far they've come with it so far, or?
I can't speak to the status, so they're still in the process of reaching out to people and testing people. I'm not with EPA, but I was familiar with
If you could share a copy of that letter, drop it off at City Hall, I can follow up.
Okay.
But I wasn't aware, and we just got clarification that it wasn't our letter, so.
Okay.
But we'll follow up as a city.
Okay.
But they're testing, they come from Woodbridge, New Jersey, the federal government,
Yeah.
sending out, now they came and tested mine, but they said it would take like 2 months for them to get back, but they tested the soil, they took about 2 hours, and they came around our area, they tested, but they came out of Woodbridge, the federal government.
So I would also bring to the mayor's attention the Trenton Metal Works. It's my understanding there's a high lead content in the area around Trenton Metal Works, and I think that the city has to start conversations with that company to try and get some areas cleaned up, because it does affect the residents there. And the lead content is in the soil all over the Enterprise Avenue area, and that's not good.
Thank you. The last person I have is Carmen Leon. I believe she said she would rather stay in her seat.
I'm here because I applied for a handicap parking in front of my house, and it's gonna be a year already. And I've been, talking with different people, to see if they can help me out, and nothing been done yet. and, I cannot work, support,
Do you know where you applied?
I went to the city hall where I was supposed to go, and,
Yeah, with Anthony? Okay.
yes,
What is your address?
148 Sherman Avenue.
Do you know about it?
Yes.
And what happened?
Well, we sent that email over to the department.
Well, I talked to a couple of people, but nobody did nothing about it yet, and I think, it's gonna be a year already that I, put my application in. Yeah. I got 4 fractures, and I got 17 screws in my right leg and 3 plates, and, no.
You have a driveway in your house?
No, that's the problem, that I moved, there, and I don't got a driveway, and nobody got consideration, for me, like, I be going for therapy, and sometimes I have to park all the way down the street, and I cannot walk, too far, so.
May I ask you, have you had the application filled out, and your neighbors have approved?
Yeah, my neighbor is my relative,
Okay.
so I don't got any problem with them,
Okay, I will get back to you on Tuesday, I'll give you a call.
She had everything filled out.
Yeah, my doctor gave me the note and everything. I went to the city hall twice, and the girl, she got my application out, and she asked me for my, handicap ID and everything, and there's nothing been done yet.
Okay.
So,
But he's the boss.
yeah, okay. I think I don't spoke with you yet, but I went over there and spoke with you.
I'll get with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Oh, you know what? First of all, we have to give a hand to everyone that's on our panel. Thank you for coming out. I don't know if I can speak for everyone else, but I love our new mayor, Rica Ciora. He's for Trenton.
I love you,
Oh, so ETC, we gave one gift last time. Marge Caldwell came out and Reed came out, and we only gave one gift, but now we have gifts for, okay, sorry.
That's all right.
We had 2 stand-ins, but we have a gift for Marge. We have a gift for the mayor, and on Terry, we have a gift for you. I'm so happy you can make it.
Harlan works harder than me.
But we thank you, Jason, and we thank you, Garland, right? For coming in. You guys have those phone numbers, and you have the GovAlert, right?
Right.
All right, we work, we do what we have to do. I believe the city is gonna work with us. We're gonna get this town back in tip-top shape. All right, we're gonna have some refreshments in the next room. Oh, I'm supposed to do something. We have meetings here, and it's the end of every month at 10 a.m. And I don't have a flyer.
What day is that?
Last Saturday of every month.
Okay, you sent the email out? Okay, because we have the Thanksgiving holiday, oh, there it is. The community meeting right here at 10 a.m. is going to be December the 8th from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Excuse me?
Okay.
December 8th from 10 a.m. to 11. We have some flyers. There's going to also be snacks with Santa here. You get your free family photos. That's December 8th from 12 to 3, so bring the children with you. There's 2 women here. That's Benita and Ilana that's been helping to get this community in shape, and I want to thank you, please. Ilana and Benita. They're being modest. Okay, before I close, is there anything else I should say?
Can I say
That
something?
Yes, Marge.
Please, first of all, I want to thank you for these gifts, and you don't have to do that, because we're here to serve you.
Oh, thank yours then.
But I'm not getting it yet. But I really do want to thank, this is one of the best community organizations that I've ever been involved with. And there's something else I wanted to do. I just want to recognize Kevin Wortham. And the reason I want to recognize Kevin is he's the director of Minding Our Business.
Yes.
And I'm the chairwoman, and he works so hard for the kids in the city of Trenton.
Yes,
And I'm
yes.
glad to see him here because collectively, we try to do the best we can for the kids.
Kevin Wortham.
Although you have to give credit to Sherelle, though, for shaping them up.
All right, so, May, I don't know if you still have time with us, Jason and Garland and on the turf. We have some refreshments. You know you have some questions. We just want to thank you again for coming. Please stay and have some refreshments, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.